All right, this is Baird Rucker, ICP-5 Knowledge Discovery. Okay, so share my screen. There we go. Um, so this is my first cell. It has the imports for all the libraries I needed, plus Spark and WordNet. This is a reloaded notebook, so it's not showing my actual import files. So that's just a heads up. So here is all the files I loaded in. And then I used this kind of redundant trick to read them all into text strings and then load them into a data frame. And at first I thought this method was a little cumbersome, but afterwards I realized I could create two data frames for both of the problems right away. And so I felt like it ended up balancing itself out. Here's my tokenization cell. I have labels for each of the input sentences, the sentences themselves, and then they're tokenized into words. Here is my main function for the TF-IDF function. It's basically structured off of the example from class. So here also is my original data set that has been run against the TF function, and you have both outputs for that. You can see the raw features and features were added. That's an unneeded cell. Here's my limmatization. So the limmatization, all of the words were embedded fairly deeply in the data structure itself. So I created this little for loop to limitize each word individually, and then reran it against the TF function. Oh, this seems to be getting an error. Let me go back. Why? Okay, so I just reloaded these files real quick and reinstalled everything so those errors would disappear. So, we reran term frequency here on the original data set. We did the limmatization, ran it again, and you can see where the features are coming out. So here's the n-gram. I did the n-gram and then reran the term frequency. You can see the data sets expanded. Like I mentioned in my report, I had a hard time telling if these outputs look correct because I'm not sure what a good term frequency outputs should look like. So here's for part 2, the word2vec. So I used my second data frame that I originally created and then used this word2vec code. And so I got my outputs here. And then I also went ahead and ran the term frequency against it just to see. Here's the limmatization. It's the same style of code as before. And then ran the word2vec on it as well to see if there were differences. I didn't really find any. And finally, here's the n-gram. So yeah, set up the n-gram, ran it, got the results, and then also ran the term frequency against it just to see if there would be any interesting findings. So that is my ICP-5.